Not Nerd Podcast, episode 377, Galactic Pimp.
Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, and his hand in front of the camera, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Peekaboo!
Oh, there you are.
I forgot. I thought you were a toddler I was zooming with.
Sometimes.
The persistence of memory.
My wife would say the same thing.
I'm here.
Yes, you are here. We are back, ready to talk tech again.
Yeah, I feel like before we do, we need to have a local weather report.
Yeah.
I don't know how chilly it's been in the area.
Yes.
So for our listeners down under, it snowed the other day.
Yeah. Near record snow. The second Portland got the second most snow ever recorded for a single day.
Wow, that's amazing. And then I drove over the western hills to the coast, and it was a little snow-packed in a couple areas.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was, I don't want to brag, but my 2016 Pathfinder, I know it's probably newer car than most people drive, except for you.
Yes.
2016, this thing has got heated seats, auto start, automatic four-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes. I mean, I probably could have just said go, and it just would have went for me. I wouldn't even have to steer.
Off-road machine. Well, yeah. I will say, since I got to travel home in the snow on Thursday from the airport to my house in my 2004 Honda CR-V with real-time all-wheel drive,
right.
It did quite well. So
yeah, good. Well, we both have cars that are designed for this area 2 days out of the year.
Yes, exactly.
So, I'm glad we spend the gas on them the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, let us get into some follow-up. I don't have anything ChatGPT or Twitter this week.
That's good.
I can hear the applause now.
Although I see something in there about ChatGPT in the notes.
Yes, but not, I'm sorry, I misspoke. FTX.
Oh, FTX.
And SBF, not ChatGPT. We do have some AI stuff, yes.
All these acronyms.
The AI, much like it is taking over the world, is taking over up our follow-up section. Mm-hmm. The first one, Samsung says users will be able to clone voice to respond to calls.
This intrigued me. So will this allow me to program my voice in there, and then when people call me, I could just be like, have a conversation with them. Well, the computer would have a conversation with them, and they think it's me. Is that what it's going to be? Because that'd be amazing, because I hate talking on the phone.
Well, yes. It's almost like you could record a message telling people to leave you a message or send a text message instead.
Wait a minute. So when they call, it automatically triggers a message.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, the technology. No. This isn't voicemail. So my understanding is that this will be a text-to-speech function, so you can respond to voice calls silently, and it will respond in your voice. Now, I don't know the use case for this.
I'm thinking, so maybe you're in a doctor's office, and you want to respond, but you don't want to be rude and pick up the call and talk. No. Everybody just picks up the phone. Everybody gives their stupid fathead kid iPad with the music of the game playing at 9,000 decibels. People are having full-on conversations about inappropriate things. I mean, there is no use case. People are just terrible.
Yes. Actually, quick sidestep. I was at the Blazer game last night, and congratulations to Mr. Damian Lillard on scoring 71 points.
Holy cow.
We picked a good game to go to. In the first half, there's a gentleman in the row in front of me, sitting in front of me, that he was just on a normal FaceTime call with his mother.
Yeah. Just
talking, not showing her that. From when I saw, he wasn't showing her the game. He was just kind of waving and talking to her a little bit during the basketball game.
Yeah, because, nobody else paid $100 for a ticket to enjoy the game. They want to be brought into this person's living room.
Yes. Yeah. Well, anyways, back to the story at hand. So, yes, it looks like it's basically a text-to-speech and speech-to-text translator. So if somebody called you, you could see what they're saying and then respond with text, but then it'll use the power of AI to recreate your voice.
Wow. So instead of a computery voice, it's your own voice. But I don't know. I feel like it could confuse some people.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
What you said the other day was like, well, I typed it. I didn't say it.
Exactly.
But I heard you.
I heard you. Yeah, it does seem confusing. We'll see how that works out. Some more AI news. Spotify launches DJ AI-powered music and commentary.
So I heard a little bit about this elsewhere. So this is this just basically recommended songs? Like
But
they've
it
always
also
done?
it'll do some commentary in between. So it's like you have your own personal DJ.
That's why I don't listen to radio.
Yes, I know.
You've been
Can I
listening
get
to-
some commercials
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, PDQ here, and that was Madonna's latest single from Blah. It's like, no, I don't want your pukey voice interrupting my songs. Just go away.
Yes.
But some people are lonely and they think the radio is their friend, I guess.
True. Yeah. It seems with these stories that it really, with the AI advancements that we're having, it's like, where can we try this out? Throwing the spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
And we'll see what sticks.
It's a technology looking for a use.
Yes, indeed. ChatGPT, and we've talked about this a little bit, but it's this story from Reuters. ChatGPT launches boom in AI-written ebooks on Amazon.
You startled me with the boom. I thought an explosion had gone off.
Yes. Quite the boom.
The idea of writing a book finally seems possible, said Stickler, a salesman. I mean, so this is going to allow people to write books who wouldn't otherwise have the ability to write books?
Yeah, and it does say that as of mid-February, there were over 200 ebooks in Amazon's Kindle store listing ChatGPT as an author or co-author.
And who's buying these?
I don't know. I'm not much of a book connoisseur.
Your wife? You might talk to your wife about that.
Yes. It seems like there's enough good books out there that I'm not saying these aren't good books. But this guy that they're interviewing in the story, he created a book, a 30-page illustrated children's book in a matter of hours. And he said that, I believe it said he's made around $100 off of it. So not a lot of money, but it's motivating him to do more.
He put in like 2 weeks worth of work, spent $350 for all the equipment to make this thing, and then he made $100. So I mean,
his wife left him.
The return on investment's not great right now, but it's the potential of what it could be.
He needs to look into holistic cost.
He does.
But yes, it is. I mean, it's a thing, and people are using it at different levels for books. But yeah, could he have just written a 30-page children's book in the same amount of time and made it better? Maybe not. Maybe not, he's not good at writing.
Yeah, maybe he's terrible. Now, a lot of people make this comparison to like Star Trek, where if you watch it, there are instances where someone will be like, computer, show me a diagram of blah, blah, blah with the dilithium crystal and this. And then, so they basically are programming something with their voice. So this AI is very similar. It's approaching that where one, you can write software this way, but even with children's books, like write me a children's book with these 3 characters in this scenario, and it spits something out. And then maybe you could go back and say, oh, on page 3, change the scenario from Lost in the Woods to Lost on the Ocean.
Yeah.
And then it rewrites it. So it would be kind of fun to use voice prompts to distill down a book into something that's enjoyable. So
yes. And later on in this article, one author who goes by Frank White showed in a YouTube video how in less than a day he created a 119-page novella called Galactic Pimp, Volume 1, about alien factions in a far-off galaxy warring over a human-staffed brothel. The book can be had for just $1 on Amazon's Kindle ebook store. So maybe I'll buy that one for Chelsea and she can come on for a book review.
I wonder if he goes by Frank White because that's his name.
Could be.
A fellow who goes by Frank White.
Yes.
Which his name happens to be Frank White, so that's very fortuitous.
Yes, to go by that. Very good. Our next story. So we've talked in the past. It was a couple years ago when Google announced their Magic Eraser service.
Isn't this little white thing that you get to clean spots off your refrigerator?
Yes. Not the trademarked Magic Eraser that you, I believe, had as a pick of the week before.
Yeah.
Which I still need to do a follow-up pick on that from like 3 years ago. But anyways, this is the feature. And if you watch the Super Bowl and the ads within, there was a big Google ad about this where you can magically erase things from your photos.
So I did not do the research to find out more about this. I was busy this weekend. Do you have to download an app? Is it in the Google app? Like, how do you evoke this? Google Photos?
It does use the Google Photos app, so it's expanding. So on an Android phone, the Photos app is just what you use
it's built
for
in
photos.
It's your gallery,
but for most of our listeners, still waiting to hear from an Android user that listens to us. But on an iPhone, you can have the Google Photos app, which we have talked about many times. It's a great way to back up your photos. So they are adding it to not just the Pixel phones, but all Android phones and iPhones.
Okay.
But the catch is you have to be a subscriber to Google One. So you have to pay some amount of money for their online service to have access to it. So I think it starts at 99 cents a month or whatever for extra storage.
Yeah.
Then you get access to the Magic Eraser feature. Now, I'm going to tease that I might, in a soon episode, have a little information. I haven't used it on my iPhone yet, but
what about your
possibly
Pixel?
Some Pixel. I believe my Pixel 3A is not adequate, but I might have some updated equipment to talk about at a later time. But I can also just do it on my phone. I will say I have tried this feature. It's not as perfect. You're going to be shocked to hear this, Dave. It's not quite as perfect as it was in the Super Bowl commercial.
Really? Because the Super Bowl commercial, it was, perfect.
Yes.
It was like a professional Photoshop person went in, removed it, cloned all the stuff, made the waves in the background match and look continuous. But
it does a good job using Google's AI features and all their photo processing stuff. But and it's very simple. I can do a lot of that stuff in Photoshop, but it can take a lot of time. And this on your phone, you can swipe a finger and get it pretty good.
And there are other tools I've used on the iPhone. I think it's Pixelmator, one of the Pixelmator things. You can just kind of highlight an object and it just makes it disappear. But this Google's offering is the next level. It's not basic. It's got some machine learning AI type stuff involved there.
All those buzzwords.
Yes.
And this past week, while I was DJing, I was scrolling, heading over to Amazon, as I often do, to see what today's deals are. But I noticed some new menu items that I clicked on and was checking out. And right next to the little all with the hamburger menu on the left side on my computer, there is 2 options. There's One Medical and there's Clinic on Amazon.
Can you guess what I'm doing?
No.
Click on the link.
Oh, yes, the picture there.
For those of you listening at home, I'm emulating the picture of the girl on the front page of Amazon.
I think I'd block that out of my purview. But we've been talking about this in different ways, and we were talking about the prescription thing that they have. But now they have this One Medical. They acquired a company, and this is part of it. The Doctor's Office Reimagined. Amazon and One Medical are teaming up to make healthcare more convenient and membership more affordable. Most insurance accepted, and it's $144 for your first year, and then it goes up to $200. But in here, you basically have a doctor, and if you click on the clinic link, you can find treatments, and you can, let's pick eyelash growth is one of the appropriate ones to click on.
Okay.
And then you can click on there. It gives you a bunch of information, commonly prescribed medications, compare clinics.
Is eyelash growth a thing that doesn't happen?
Apparently, I think it's more the females are interested in eyelash growth and anything to get them to avoid fake eyelashes, but that's another podcast.
I see.
But you choose your state, you choose an online clinic. Here, you $34 or $35. They have 2 options. You can get an online consultation. So in a very Amazon way, the healthcare is here. So the One Medical, it looks like you pay a yearly fee to have access to a doctor, and then they have all these treatments, and you can get prescriptions right through. It's available in 33 states, and Oregon is one of them.
Is this primarily for people who do not have health insurance, or like I have Providence Health Insurance here? Could this augment or replace my health insurance, or should I not even worry about it since I'm covered elsewhere?
I don't think you'll pay more. I actually know a guy who is a doctor, and he runs his own clinic where it's a subscription. It's like $80 a month or something, and they do a lot of stuff there. But then they'll use your insurance for like bigger stuff, like if you need a surgery or something. So I think one of the advantages here, even if you do have insurance, is just the convenience of it. You could have a doctor that, you just click and you meet. You don't have to go anywhere. But it's kind of a new way of doing things. It's interesting.
I guess if your current place is backed up and you have to wait 3 weeks to get your pink eye checked out, maybe this is like, well, I have this other thing I already pay $150 a year for, so I'll just use this maybe.
Yes. And the first question under the "You May Be Wondering" section is, how does One Medical differ from other primary care and urgent care practices? One Medical aims to make healthcare easier to access and even enjoyable, while improving health outcomes for people across every stage of life. One Medical offers same and next day in office or remote visits, so you can even go in office. Seamlessly paired with 24/7 on-demand virtual care services through the mobile or web app. It's kind of like an urgent care thing, only to the next level.
It's all these separate entities grouped together under one umbrella. I clicked on the pink eye conjunctivitis treatment for my state, and I can choose an online clinic, either Steady MD, which is going to cost $30 and an estimated response time of 2 hours, or Health Tap, which is also $30 with a 3-hour estimated response time. So those are my options.
Yeah, so they do accept insurance plans, so that could lower your prices. And then you go shopping through Notpicks, you buy some picks of the week, and you get your pink eye taken care of.
Yeah, you click through Notpicks so that you can go on Amazon and buy the ointment that you need.
Yes.
But it's using our affiliate link, so there you go.
Yes, and I got so excited last week with our Microsoft Patch Tuesday updates and all the vulnerabilities.
As we all did.
Yes, that there was one major piece that I forgot to mention. With Patch Tuesday, Microsoft is now forcibly removing Internet Explorer from your PC.
Oh wow! You do the update and then you go, oh, I'm going to go surf the web, and it's like Internet Explorer is no longer here.
Yes, yeah. So this has been a many-year progress that we told you to stop using it.
So how do you feel about that ethically? That an update or a patch, I guess it's not even a software update, it's a patch update. So let me back up a little bit. I expect that when I update my Macintosh software from Monterey to Ventura, that there's going to be new features. Some features may go away, some things may not work. Apple usually advertises those things to developers ahead of time. But with Patch Tuesday, it seems like you have Windows 11 and you're using it, and then you apply some patches, and then you go to use it and it's not there. That seems a little more invasive. Yes.
I would agree with that. It's famously QuickBooks, their built-in browser was Internet Explorer forever.
Yeah.
I just had a client, I think it was last week or the week before, send me a screenshot of you need to update your QuickBooks now. Internet Explorer is going away, and there are interfaces that Internet Explorer will need, but it was also long overdue for going. So
I mean, those developers needed to solve the problem.
Yes,
it's not Microsoft's fault.
Yes, It is weird that it would forcibly be removing software, but I think it's time. So with this one, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because of the security implications.
Yes. Well, there's no security implications with Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
So I was on. You're not going to take over my pro tip this week, are you?
No. I had one in mind, but I will let you have it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I was on Reddit. If you can imagine that I was there. Pro tip: I'm there
always
like
on
all
Reddit.
the time. Yeah. So anyway, I was on Reddit and I was reading through some stuff, and I discovered something from a tip that somebody posted. Let's see if the username's appropriate.
Yeah.
This is user logical-risei. Risei? R-I-S-E-I. Risei? Anyway, usually there's something that's lewd and makes no sense. But so logical risei had a tip. If you are an Apple user, whom most of you are, and you use Apple Notes, it can somewhat be frustrating when you want to make a bulleted list and you go in there and you're like, oh, I want this one to be tabbed over. So you click at the front of the sentence, you go to your toolbar, or however you press and hold and the toolbar pops up. This is if you're like on an iOS device. Mm-hmm. And then you click the arrow to the right and you say, oh, I want to tab in. And then, of course, if you back up the second line to the tabbed line and hit return, it will honor that tab. But then it's like, I'm at the end and I want to go back. I want to indent backwards. So you highlight the thing and then you get the menu and you go back. It can be a really cumbersome thing on your iOS device. And I'm sure if you have a keyboard connected to your iPad or iPhone and you're trying to do this, there are keyboard shortcuts to do that. And of course, on your computer, it's practically easier to do it with a keyboard and mouse. But one thing I didn't know that I discovered from this user on Reddit is if you are on a checklist and you want to indent, you simply swipe the sentence to the left or right to indent the bullet point or check mark in or out. Does this make sense? Am I explaining it correctly?
Yes, I think so. I clicked on the link and I'm watching the video and I'm trying to do it in our show notes, which I'm sure I'll end up deleting all of our show notes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there I did it.
Yeah. So I didn't know this before, but you know how on some menu items in Apple, if you have a list of files or something, if you swipe to the left, a little icon will appear and you can delete the item or move the item. This is the same gesture. You're on a task list, a checklist, and you swipe left or right, and it'll indent or unindent. It's so intuitive and so easy, yet I never knew this existed. Yes. And I always have to go to the menu with my fat fingers, and I'm like, I just wanted to indent this thing, and it took me 25 minutes to do it. So that's the tip. And why don't you try it on reminders? I believe it works on reminders as well. And I'm going to get my phone out and I'm going to turn on reminders, and we've got our checklist. Boom. When I swipe, there's actually a button that says indent, and you click it and it indents the item on my task list in reminders. And you can unindent the same way.
Very nice. More organization.
Actually, unindenting is a little bit more difficult. I have found. I just deleted the item that I had under my tasks. But anyway, there's a way to do it. Oh, you know what you do is you slide to the right again, and there's an outdent. Did you know that outdent is the opposite of indent?
I did not know
So you
that.
swipe to the right to indent, and then you swipe to the right again to reveal the outdent button. But anyway, if you wanted indent or outdent, swiping is your friend, not the menu.
Very nice. I like it. Thank you very much for that one. Let us move on to our takes of the week. I was listening to Rich on Tech's podcast, and he had a guest on that's one of the organizers of the Unplug Collaborative, and they... March 3rd and 4th is the Global Day of Unplugging for 2023.
Is this a pro-gasoline engine type
Yes,
thing?
get rid of your electric cars for 24 hours.
Now, what is this really?
This is all around unplugging from your devices.
So any electronic devices, just turn the power off and be one with nature.
Yes. So that is the goal, and you can join in on it, and you can find a tech-free event near you. Let's see if there's any in our area. We could do a live unpodcast.
How do we unplug if we're doing like a Zoom call or something like that?
Yeah, I Oh, it looks like we could drive up to Seattle, and there is an Unplugged event there.
And you just show up and talk? Like, no phones, no...
Like
what's the deal?
crazy people. So the Seattle Unplugged Discovery Park Walk. So you go to the Discovery Park on Discovery Park Boulevard in Seattle, and you can go on the walk without your devices. But that means you can't take pictures.
This would be great if I enjoyed spending time with people more than I enjoy spending time with technology.
Well, I think you could definitely organize a one-person Unplugged event, but it is all just to bring awareness of maybe at some point we should unplug a little bit and enjoy people and things around us.
What if we all just get together with our devices and be on them together while we drink coffee? Wait, I just described a coffee shop.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. What to do for Global Day of Unplugging? Filter the list of 200 plus ideas to choose what to do when you're unplugged, who is ready to unplug, and where you want to unplug.
This actually might be good for families with young kids who are always looking for stuff to do.
Yes, it would. It is definitely something we could be more mindful of in our home, is doing some unplugging. So I figured there's probably some others there, whether you do it, March 3rd, 4th, or if you pick another time. But it is something that I want to try to do a little more often, is being away from not having 3 devices in front of me at least. Maybe just getting down to 1 device would be my version of unplugging.
That's a great idea. My wife thinks that she just needs to get rid of her iPad because it's a big time waster for her. So I'm like, I cannot imagine doing that, but I don't feel like I struggle as much with productivity while on devices as she does. I still struggle, don't get me wrong. But.
Oh, yes. And but yes, if you're able to keep the device and build self-discipline in using the device, I think that will benefit your overall life instead of having to go cold turkey. If you can grow through the temptation, you will be in a better place.
You should use ChatGPT to write a book on this subject, my friend.
I will make tens of dollars on Amazon, like Frank White, supposedly.
A gentleman who goes by the name of Frank White.
Well, this next one, I was actually on the phone with friend of the show, Wes, and he got a notification saying, is the Apple Watch going to be banned?
What?
So this has kind of been all over the place. And what it is, it's kind of a interesting story. So there's a company called AliveCore, and they made a AFib testing device that worked with the Apple Watch. Okay. It was a little thing that connected in via Bluetooth, and you could test for atrial fibrillation. Is that close
enough?
So they built that. Well, then Apple decided to build it into the watch. Well, they had some patents. They went to Apple, and I think it went to who's the ones that, not the International Trade Commission, but there's the American, whoever it is that deals with patents in the U.S. Well, they went to court, and they told AliveCore, these patents do not hold up. Nice try. But the International Trade Commission, they are putting an import ban on the Apple Watch. So Apple would not be able to bring the Apple Watch into the U.S. Now, there's appeals and all this stuff going on. I'm guessing it probably won't happen, but it's very interesting nonetheless that, and I saw something that it probably wouldn't even be till 2024 by the time the appeals, if it actually did go through. But
you're aware of the golden rule, right? Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure Apple's gonna win this one.
On another podcast, they said, why doesn't Apple just buy AliveCore and make it go away?
That's probably what will happen.
Yeah. So, you don't have to worry about that. And if you are worried about it, go buy an Apple Watch now.
Yeah, they're always good to buy. I've got a 5th generation, and man, I hear other people, when you buy a car, all you see on the road is all the other cars. So when you start having some battery issues with your watch, you're like, oh, everybody's having issues. But someone was talking about, who had a watch that was 2 versions newer than mine, was talking about, oh, the battery doesn't last as long. I'm like, well, you probably don't even have any concept, because my watch is older than yours, and mine probably is worse than yours, and it's not that bad. So I'm just trying to think: are they really in dire straits, or do they just need a new watch or want a new watch? But anyway, the battery's really the only thing that holds you back.
Yes,
and older watches are fine.
Real-time follow-up. My Apple Watch Ultra, the battery life, having that day and a half, 2 days is, I was traveling last week, and it was like I was a little off on my charging schedule, but I was fine, and it really, really is nice to have that extended battery life.
Well, this is just a little sidestep. Are you aware of any services that will just replace old watch batteries, or is that a thing, or is it like it can't be done?
I don't know. I would think
I know Apple can do it.
Yeah, I was thinking if it could be done, maybe PodSwap, that service we talked about that I tried, that will send you refurbished AirPods.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to look at it now, but if I could just get an affordable way to replace the battery in this watch, I would just keep it for another couple years.
Give you a lot more life. Or maybe they could jam a better battery in there, or have some little stuff hanging off the side and a battery pack up your arm or something like that.
Or a backpack around.
Yeah. Let's look into it. Let's create something.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I want a hydrogen-powered watch.
Yes. And speaking of buying things, there was an original iPhone still sealed in package that went up for auction and sold for $63,356.
I've got an original iPhone that has some dents and dings.
Yeah.
The screen's messed up a little bit just because it's old.
I've got mine right here on my desk,
yeah,
as I have every other piece of tech that
and I will sell it for 10% of what this sold. So if you're interested in what would that be, a $6,000 watch? Or phone, then I will gladly sell it to you.
To get that original iPhone. Yeah, mine, I think half the screen doesn't work, but it's still cool to be able to look up there and see where we've come in the last 16 years.
And to touch it and feel it and go, this is what it felt like to own the new iPhone.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of information that I saw or heard about why she had an in-package, plastic-wrapped original iPhone, but she did, and it was a good deal.
Yeah,
she made out, and whoever bought it, I don't know.
And she could almost, with that money, afford to buy a new iPhone.
Yes, exactly. The new $60,000 iPhone Max that they'll probably release next year.
That hovers.
Yes, the hover phone.
It cleans water.
Yes, indeed. We've talked. I think you've maybe even made it a pick of the week at some point. Valve, you've done most of the gaming services, but Valve bans 40,000 accounts after laying a trap for cheaters in Dota 2.
Yeah, they pushed out a update that fixed something, but they also put some code in there that would only be accessed, not by regular players, but for people who were using third-party tools to see inside the code base for Dota 2.
Yeah.
And when that trigger happened, it sent a little note back home to the creators of Dota, and they put the ban hammer down on 40,000 accounts, and they think they're going to get even more.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
now, are you familiar with Dota 2?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
What is it? The Defenders of the Ancients or something like that is what it stands for. Something like that. I haven't played it, but I have looked into it, and it's not really a game that I'm that interested in. Yeah.
Yes, but so be careful out there, cheaters.
Yeah. Real-time follow-up. Dota is Defense of the Ancients. So,
yes.
In case you're curious.
Very nice. Well, security, privacy, crypto story, I don't know, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. Police, crypto mining operation found in school crawl space.
So let me guess. Somebody built a crypto mining farm in the crawl space and was using the school's power to mine crypto.
Yes.
Probably some industrious student.
Yes.
Give them a medal and send them off to college.
A former employee of a Massachusetts town is facing charges of allegedly setting up a secret cryptocurrency mining operation in a remote crawl space at a school, police said. Nadim Nahas, 39, scheduled to be arraigned, but then he did not show up to his court time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there was a school administrator noticed some cables going up into an area, investigated, and found some computers that were crypto mining up there. So,
well, really, the only crime is stealing electricity.
Yes.
I mean, it's not illegal to have a crypto miner.
Yes, I guess the charges were fraudulent use of electricity and vandalizing a school.
Okay, the vandalizing, that's a kind of a stretch. But,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, but
so what you're saying is I should shut down my crypto miner where I work.
Yes,
because I might
be in trouble. You might get caught. But the bummer is he's probably not making a whole lot off of crypto mining these days.
No,
but what can you do?
He probably forgot about it. It's like, oh, I set that up 5 years ago and forgot it was down there.
Yeah, exactly. And another story that is a good reminder to avoid pirated software.
Yeah.
Pirated Final Cut Pro infects Mac with crypto mining malware.
Yeah. I know it's hard for young people who want to learn things, but with YouTube out there these days,
yes,
I feel like you don't really need to steal the software to learn how to use it. You can just read some tutorials.
Well, and for most things, there's good free options for if you're wanting to make movies, there's iMovie, which is adequate when you're getting started out, and
learn
then when
on
you
the
get
free
to
tools,
a point,
and then apply what you've learned to the for-pay tools when you can get a job that offers those, or you have enough money to buy them.
Yes,
or do like a trial.
Yeah,
a trial for the software.
Well, and with Final Cut Pro, they have the educational discount where it's what you're getting, software that makes movies.
It's $300 for Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Main Stage, which is like a band, a live band type thing, a Motion, which is the After Effects equivalent, and a compressor. So it's like 5 apps you can get for $300. Ask your grandma to get it for you for Christmas.
Yes.
It's well worth it.
Yes, but it is a reminder that, I've done pirated software in my past. Luckily, I'm at a point where I am not tempted to do that anymore, but it is very easy for bad things. And crypto mining isn't the worst thing that could happen. But when you're installing software from who knows where, yikes, can have some problems.
Not a good thing.
No. And this one, I don't know, but I'll read it anyways.
Yeah, I go ahead. I have some things to say.
Yes. A woman who got locked out of her Apple account minutes after her iPhone was stolen and had $10,000 taken from her bank account says Apple was not helpful at all.
Well, so I read this article and spent probably a half hour doing mind exercises thinking how this could happen.
Yes.
And so here's a scenario. You have a PIN code on your phone. Let's say it's 1234. Okay. If that's your PIN code, please change it. That's a terrible PIN code.
Yes.
But for this example, 1234. So you are using your phone. Someone has been monitoring you in the bar because, you have to unlock your phone every once in a while because Face ID doesn't work or whatever. So they okay, their PIN code is 1234. And so then at an opportune time, they take that phone, they enter 1234 to get into it. They immediately go to settings, they go to passwords, and it says, oh, your face doesn't match this to unlock. Would you like to enter the PIN code instead? And you say, of course, 1234. Now you're into the built-in keychain password manager.
Yeah.
And you quickly look for anything that might resemble a bank account or something. You log into the bank account, you do a transfer, or if you want to lock the person out, you change the email address, you change the passcode, because the email's on the phone, right? So you could just receive the code, whatever. So very quickly you can do this all before the person has a chance to even go to the authorities to shut these things off or to log into another phone. thieves are sophisticated enough. So the security hole here is that the keychain app on the phone should not be so easily accessed.
Yeah.
You should not be able to get into it with the PIN code alone. There should be another thing. But anyway,
even on top of that, there are, lots of apps that are logged into your phone that you could do some nefarious stuff with quickly. She did say that she very quickly got somebody else's phone to log into the Find My, which I would have issues with the two-factor. How would I get my two-factor code to do the Find My unless
because it's going to send it to your phone, which has been stolen.
Yeah, so it is a complicated thing, but she was complaining, that when she tried to get a hold of Apple to get access to her Apple ID back, that she wasn't able to do that. It sounds like maybe they changed the password for her Apple ID, which, again, I don't think that's that easy. But
well, what it does, if you go to appleid.com and you try to log in to change this stuff, it sends a two-factor authentication to the phone that you're using. So you just simply type that in. I really do think that Apple should change that.
Yeah.
It's going to be inconvenient for a lot of people, but I feel like they should not send the approval access to the device that requested it. It could send it to your iPad or to your computer, but if you requested it on the phone, it should say, please check these other 5 devices that you have.
Yes.
But I mean, I do it all the time. I'll be sitting here at my desk with my computer, my iPad, and my phone all sitting here, and I'll be on my computer and I'll request something, and the thing comes up on my computer.
Yeah.
And I can just copy and paste it right there. It's like, maybe it should be decentralized a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And it all comes back to, as we've talked about many times, the spectrum of convenience and security. And they could make it a lot more secure, which would then make it a lot harder for the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
Or they could make it a lot more convenient, which would make it harder for the thieves. And this article is on Business Insider, but so she was originally talking to the Wall Street Journal about they were doing an investigation on how iPhone thieves are learning to get somebody's pass, this very thing. So apparently that's an issue that Apple has added so much security to things, but if they can get that passcode, that gives somebody a lot of access. Whereas, if they got my phone, they don't have my passcode. It's pretty much a brick, and it's going to track them. So it seemed like advantages of stealing an iPhone were diminishing quickly, but now if they can get that passcode, then it gives them some of that advantage.
It almost has inspired me to switch away from a 4-digit PIN to a 6-digit PIN. I hate the 6-digit PIN, so I've chosen to keep my 4-digit PIN, but maybe I need to make it a little more.
Do the 6-digit, or it'd be a little harder. Or Face ID for me is nearly flawless. I rarely have to put in my passcode, but you can also do an alphanumeric passcode like a regular one, but then again, on that spectrum, just makes it tougher to get into your phone.
Yeah.
I agree. Agreed to agree. On to our bonus odd take of the week. Dave, this is a fun one you found. Tell us what you found.
All right. I have to click on it to remember what it was. Yes, after a quick reminder of what I put in here, this is amazing for anybody who's interested in nostalgic web type stuff. This website at anlucas.neocities.org, which NeoCities, that's still around?
Well, there was GeoCities.
Oh, this is different. Oh, this is new.
NeoCities.
I see. This is funny. This is probably a custom thing to make reference to GeoCities. Anyway, /88x31 buttons, as you can expect from the very verbose name. This is a collection of all the little buttons that you find around the web on any old website. So I mean, they're animated, they're blinking. There's the Netscape Now. This page is best viewed with Netscape, and it's like rotating. There's flashing ones from Epicenter, Glyph Web with a little rotating ball. So if you grew up in the 90s, if you use computers in the 90s and went to the various websites, you will recognize many of the little buttons here. So it's just like a museum of buttons.
Museum of 88 pixel by 31 pixel web buttons from the 90s and 2000s.
And if you click on them, nothing happens. They just are there for you to enjoy. And I did see some of them appear to be duplicates. I caught a couple of them. Now, of course, I can't find them now that I see them. Maybe they refreshed or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth going to just to see and go, oh, I remember seeing
I
buttons
remember
like this.
all these, yes.
Learn HTML now.
MySQL with the flashing background. N64.com.
Yeah, and since we're all Apple fans here, there's a couple Apple buttons that they had on their website, probably. Or you click it from another website and it links back to the Apple's website. So
maybe we'll have to implement a couple of these into notnerd.com to anytime we link to Apple or anytime we link to AOL Instant Messenger.
Right. I do kind of have a place in my heart for this one here, the Netscape Now.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just this little animation of a giant N on the planet, and there's like a star going by, and the moon is going behind it, and it's just crazy. It's like a 5-frame animation.
I'm going to use the amazing free stuff one.
Oh, boy, look at this one here. There at the bottom.
Oh yeah, there are some questionable entries.
What website are you going to that has that for sale?
Yes, you'll have to go check that one out for yourself. But you will not have to go check out our picks of the week.
So it's not very often. It's typically once every 1 or 2 years that I will buy a case for my phone.
Yeah.
I've had my current phone for almost a year and a half now. I bought it 2 Septembers ago, or I think it's November actually. So let's say roughly a year and a half, not quite a year and a half. And after a while, the case I have those clear cases, and all of them always say, anti-yellowing, getting gross, whatever.
Yeah.
They all get terrible, and it was just falling apart. So I said, it's time. And I've been wanting a leather case for my phone for a long time. The problem is most leather cases start about $50 and go up from there. So I found this. The jury is still out on whether it's real leather. It says genuine leather on the website.
Yes.
But they can lie and seem to have no consequences. It was $15.
$15.
Oh, I should have given you made you guess.
Yeah, I was going to guess 20 to 25. Yeah. So
this is the Omniklad for iPhone 13 Pro Max, 100% genuine leather.
Oh, well, it says it right there in the title.
And I'm smelling it. I don't smell leather. Magnetic cell phone case compatible with MagSafe, which it is.
Nice.
Microfiber lining, which it has. All-around protection. Well, the screen is still unprotected.
Yes.
Barrier Pro semi-flexible case, brown.
Brown.
So it looks like leather. It doesn't really feel like leather.
Yeah.
So again, I'm very skeptical. But for what I paid, I would only be disappointed in their lack of transparency.
Yeah.
But the performance of the case is quite nice, and it's got Apple-style metal-esque buttons on the side. I say metal-esque because I have no idea if they're actual metal or not, which is a nice departure from the plastic case that I was using, where the buttons are kind of built into the plastic and they're kind of hard to push. These are kind of separate buttons that are very easy to press for ill or for not, but I like it. So if you're looking for a cheap case that's decent and may or may not be as advertised, the Omniklad cases for your iPhone.
Sadly, doesn't look like they have it for the iPhone 14s yet, just the 13s. But another quick sidestep, I got a notification that an Amazon package had arrived today, and it was a case for another phone that I may or may not have mentioned earlier, that I may or may not have. But I went out, picked it up off the porch, and I'm like, this is just an iPhone, or it's not an iPhone case. This is just a phone case, but man, this is light. And then I'm like, oh, the bag's open. Oh, the bag's empty. So I received an empty package from Amazon today, but they are going to quickly send me another one. They do have, I will say, pro tip, they have a very good automated customer service thing where you just click the buttons, what's wrong, tell us what's going on, and they tell you. They said, we'll send you another one right away, and then if you get the original one, you just bring that back. But I have no idea what happened. But yeah, that was a fun adventure to get an empty Amazon package
You're
today.
like, I know this is light, but this is too light.
Yes.
So basically, Amazon shipped air from their holding facility to you.
Yes, which was very nice of them. Well, for my pick of the week, before I get to my pick of the week, Chelsea and I have an odd pick that she received from the library. Now, she does a ton of audiobooks, mostly all through the Libby app or the Overdrive app where you just download the audiobook. But she checked out a book, went to the library, and Dave, she got this thing. Now, usually you'd expect some CDs or something. So it's an orange case about the size of a, normal size book. But you open it up, and inside there is an all-in-one audiobook, a little tiny device.
Oh, wow.
And you turn it over, and it's got
play, pause, rewind.
Yeah, skip, forward, power button.
And a very small LCD screen that's like on an old Casio watch.
Yeah, yes. So this is the audiobook. She had never seen one of these before, and she's done hundreds of audiobooks. And it says on the front, needs earbuds and a AAA battery. So,
they don't even give you a battery for the thing?
Well, they say that the battery will last for 30 hours. I think this book was like 32 hours or something, she said. So, yeah, it's 32 hours. So it's just more than a battery. So I'm not even sure I don't know if she's listened to it yet, but it does not have a battery in there. So, yeah, you put a battery in, plug your earbuds in. But she's like, I can't use my AirPods. She's like, I think maybe I'll just wait and get the downloadable version. But I thought that was very interesting, something I had not seen before.
That is interesting. Now, she could get a 3.55 millimeter Bluetooth transmitter thing,
which I probably have a few of in the garage if you wanted to
pair that, but it's still inconvenient. You have to carry this other device. Now, some industrious person might just use their computer and plug a male-to-male audio jack in,
just record.
turn on iTunes and hit record or whatever, GarageBand or QuickTime, and just record the book, and then you have it on your. But you have to wait 30 hours for.
Exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot of recording.
Yeah, but just a really interesting piece of technology that we did not know existed. So we thought I'd bring that up on the podcast.
I've never seen that before. There's probably a market of collectors who would love to have books in that format. And it's kind of like going back to Star Trek. They would have these iPad type things, and they'd have Captain Kirk write a report on it. And then they would hand him another iPad, and then he would sign it. And then they'd hand him another one. It's like the iPad can only do that one document or something. Nice. It's like maybe you could put all of the things on one.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is very much like that. Every single book has got its own little special MP3 player.
Yes. Playaway is the brand that puts together the all-in-one audiobooks. But anyways, on to my pick of the week.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, that was just a little bonus odd pick of technology that I didn't know where else to put in the show notes. But my pick, Dave, I think you might be interested in this. Now, we have talked over the years, of course, of MagSafe, the kind that was on laptops where the power cord magnetically attached.
Yep.
And then I think we've had a couple gadgets where it was like a lightning cable specifically that would plug in and
There's a little proprietary MagSafe thing that would
So this is very similar to that, but I didn't just need lightning. So I found on Amazon, it is called scroll all the way back up the page. There's a shortcut for that. Maybe the pro tip of the week next week. This is the 540-degree rotation magnetic charging cable 3-in-1 magnetic phone charger 4-pack 3-foot, 3-foot, 6-foot, 10-foot, 3-amp fast charging cable support data transfer USB magnet charger cable for iPhone micro USB Type-C device.
All right, you lost me at 570 degrees.
540 degrees.
540.
I didn't even get you through that.
Yeah. So that's like 1.5 rotations, I
Yes. So this was a 4-pack of cables, 3 foot, 3 foot, 6 foot, and a 10-foot cable. And what it is, it's USB-A on this end, which I might want to upgrade to a USB-C. But on this end, it's got a 540 degree rotating, and then it has this is the magnetic lightning, but it came with a ball, because they're magnets. See if I can get that to focus for you. Of all the different adapters, there's USB-C, micro USB, and I tested it on my phone. It's not something you would like want to leave it in your phone because it kind of sticks out a little bit on there.
So there are these little tiny adapters that go in all these disparate devices, and then the one cable to rule them all, it magnetically snaps onto the back of these little adapters that you've inserted various places, or you keep them with you and swap them out as needed.
And so one of the reasons I wanted to test this out is a client that uses iPads for point of sale, and they're always plugged in and the cables are always tangling up, and it's like, well, if you want to keep them always charged, we could use this, and then you just pull it off and then you put it back on the magnet, or just the lightning. Of course, there was lightning cables, but having it for micro USB if you have a device or something that's protecting the cords. And even just having the 540 degree rotation is a nice thing, so the cables aren't getting whacked.
Can you explain that a little bit more? Like, if it can go around once, why can't it? If it can go around 1.5 times, why can't it just keep going round
So
and round?
I think it's technically, so there's 180 degree swivel.
Okay, there's a swivel.
And then the top rotates.
They're adding 90 plus 90 plus 360.
So the 360 plus the 180 to get their 540, because 360
that's not how that
would
works,
be,
but
it's multiple dimensions of rotation.
Okay, well, I'm still not convinced.
Yes.
I watched a podcast the other day that explained how light negotiates with an electron across the universe before it sends itself, the photon, and that the photon, when it arrives at the exact same moment, because time is relative and the light particle is traveling at the speed of light, it's instantaneous, even though in our view it took billions of years, right? I can understand that.
Yes.
This I don't understand the math on. Okay, so I'm just going to say I need to do a little more research before.
Well, you'll have to contact Ankndo, the maker of this, ANKNDO store. But Dave, so 4 cables, I think it gave me all 3 adapters for all 4 cables. Mm-hmm. 4 stars, 2,833 ratings. Dave, what would you pay? They're nice braided cables, fast charging.
And there's 4 of them, huh?
4 cables.
$24.99.
Ding, ding, ding on the dong.
Yes.
Yes. Unless you click the $2 coupon. But yes, $24.99 is the price here.
Yeah. I was going to say $19.99, but I'm like, there's multiple cables, and sometimes one cable costs that much. So that was going to be a little too cheap. So good. Well, I'm glad that I got the pick right on. What, do I win a prize?
Yes. You win the prize of doing another podcast episode next week.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, actually, Dave, you could win a prize if you head over to notpicks.com and check out these or other picks there. Leave a review, and you could be entered. I believe it ends this Sunday the 5th. Is this Sunday the 5th?
This Sunday.
Yes.
I have no idea what day it is right now.
Yes. March 5th. If you can get on there before then, leave a review. You will be winning my favorite travel tripod selfie stick phone holder with Bluetooth remote. It is a great little utility, and it is up for grabs. And I will say at this moment, your odds are pretty good to pick one of these up. All you have to do is go over there, check out some of our picks, leave a review on something you're familiar with, and be entered to win.
And available in all 50 states except ones that don't start with Ori.
Yes. Local delivery only, like the Girl Scout. Oh man, I could go off for half an hour on the Girl Scout cookies.
Do it.
That whole logistical nightmare.
That whole scam.
But I will say they, as of today, Monday, February 27th, they are now available. You can order for shipping, and the new Raspberry Rally cookie is available for order. And maybe I'll put a link to Isla's ordering page for the Girl Scout cookies. We've had the ordering open for local delivery, but you couldn't order the Raspberry Rally. The Raspberry Rally, which is a new cookie, is only available for delivery. And if you're not local, you can order it. In every different region, they have different cookies. They have different timing. It is the weirdest thing. Now that I am in the world of Girl Scouts, it is mind-boggling. Chelsea ordered some cookies from another part of the country that we can't get here. It is so weird.
I'm going to hang on a second. ChatGPT, write me a logistics plan for Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout.
That's not stupid.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, it's going to spit it out here in a minute.
It's just so confusing. But anyways, all that to be said, head over to notpicks.com. Check it out. Anytime you're going to shop at Amazon, just type in notpicks.com instead. Click the Amazon link right at the top of the page. Maybe I'll go to that, your bonus odd take, and get the Amazon icon from there to put on there to click over to Amazon. It helps support the show, helps you get good stuff, and all of that. Notpicks.com.
Sounds
it's
like
easy.
the best place to visit. You know, when I wake up in the morning, you know what the first website I go to? And then after I do that, I go to Notpicks.
Yes. After 2.5 hours on Reddit. Maybe I just need to start spamming your Reddit feed with notpicks.com
Do
links.
it. I'll subscribe to Reddit user Notpicks.
Yes.
I'll do
We'll
it.
do a Notpicks subreddit.
Go for it.
Get a Discord channel going. All the techs.
Everything. There's so many.
A Mastodon instance.
There are so many things.
There are so many things and so little time. So with that, we will grant you some of your time back so you can get out there and tech better.
We'll see if the recording.
Everything else
Ouch.
seemed
Son of a-
perfect.
I broke the handle off my heater.
Oh,
See where these two screw holes
yes.
go?
Stripped out.
Now there are two sharp screws poking out, so I keep hitting my hand on it. I keep messing with it, and I poke myself like an idiot.
Yeesh.
Yeesh.